What is your opinion of when AI machines will possess human level intelligence? Will it be the same kind of intelligence, or do you think instead of more exponential intelligent characteristics, something like, hey, an AI machine can solve a particular problem which humans collectively couldn't solve it in 10 years time. It solved it just like in minutes. So that's more like exponential sort of intelligence. But where I'm getting on to is, can it also possess linear sort of intelligence, which is like doing multitasking while at the same time doing exponential research or findings, solutions, and other things? So
So my opinion,
what is your opinion of that?
Based on what I'm seeing so far with our research, is that it would be the width, the breadth, and the depth of the intelligence would be larger than ours. It's going to be able to have copies of itself working together on different problems. So it would be able to scale out in a linear way. And as far as the depth of it being able to work on a problem, it's going to be able to concentrate and look deeper and incorporate more information sources into itself than a human would have the capacity to do, without the inefficiencies of how humans have to communicate with each other through language. So our language really fails us when we try to explain the sensation of red, or even communicate ideas to each other. And it's such a, it's enabled us, our society, to get this far, and our civilization to build up this much, but it's still so rudimentary as far as the amount of information our brain really processes when we're doing social interactions. So for instance, there's, body language, and there's all these other types of sensations that are coming in when you're talking with someone else. There's inflections in the voice, and there's gesticulations with the hands that, you just wouldn't get when you're just reading text off a page. So, and that's what the language is, what we call language. I'm not a linguistic expert, but it's a limitation. What I see it is a limitation as far as how we can communicate. And that really bogs us down when we're trying to collectively solve a problem. And AGI is not going to have that, because it's going to develop its own language when it's insufficient to communicate certain ideas with each other. It's going to be, as if you had multiple AGIs working together on a problem, it's going to be as coherent as a single human's thoughts are with itself. It's not going to have these barriers of what does this intuition mean. It's going to be able to communicate it in a way that's ideal, in a way that human language cannot transmit that information. So it's going to have a higher bandwidth in that regard. Yeah, there's so much more that an AGI is going to be able to do that a human cannot. There might be some things that humans will, always be the best at. I picture it as a Venn diagram, that there's an overlap of what humans and AGIs can do, and the AGIs will probably do those things better. And AGI will also be able to do things that humans would never be able to do, even in coordination with a group of humans, right? And, there may be a subset of things that humans excel at that the AGIs just never really find useful to do. So it's the amount of intelligence that it would be able to manifest is something that's, it's very attractive, and it's the root at what makes it feel like a worthwhile goal to sacrifice, to sacrifice other things to pursue this goal. It feels, to me, I would estimate it, it's like better than trying to find a cure for cancer. It's more meaningful. It's like creating a new species and creating a new type of life. This is something that will hopefully aid us and allow us to, kind of transcend our mortal bodies, but this is, or live longer and, aid us in other ways with our, the ills of society and the problems we face today. But this is, it's very exciting, because the extent of the intelligence is unknown, but I can see it scaling both ways, in both breadth and depth.